Aviaries, aquariums, and wildlife reserves. Planet Zoo 2 is coming in October, and it looks incredible. I have the announced trailer and all sorts of other stuff here, and I'm going to give you every detail that I'm able to in this video. Let's go. Where to begin? There is so much in this trailer to talk about. We're going to watch it together now, and afterwards I'm going to break down every single piece of information I have, including lots of things that you won't see in the trailer. Wow, this blew my mind when I saw it. This aquarium, the lighting in here, the fact that we've got turtles, we've got shoals of fish, the light rays shining through the water. It's just amazing. The underwater in this game, not just the aquatic animals, but everything else. It's just going to be a whole new world. Lots of new building pieces to see here, a new theme, and we'll be talking about that a lot in a second. And that's not the only thing new. Every animal in the game is completely redone. Nothing has been brought over from the first game. They look absolutely amazing. They behave completely differently. And, well, some of them can fly. We'll be talking a lot more about the aviaries and the aquariums in a minute. And yes, we have a secretary bird. Cannot wait to build an aviary for these guys. And this incredible new feature as well, the wildlife reserves. Releasing your animals into the wild is no longer a matter of clicking a button and getting a little jingle. Now there's an actual wild to release them into that you can manage. That's the trailer. Let's dive into the details. We'll start with the three biggest new features, and I'll go through every animal that we know so far is coming to the game, which at this early stage is quite a large number, along with all the new pieces, graphics, new features, and everything. So starting with the aviaries. In Planet Zoo 2, we'll be able to build fully customizable aviaries with a new tool, which allows the placement and generation of meshed ceilings, creating stunning spaces which allow guests to walk through areas filled with beautiful birds. We've been painfully building our own aviaries with nothing to fly around in them for 6 years now. I cannot wait to actually have a tool designed to build aviaries. It looks absolutely amazing. I'll have a lot more to tell you about that in a future video. These are fully flying birds that you're seeing here, including the Toko toucan, secretary bird, and one more which I will show you in a minute. And you can house them in fully customizable aviaries with poles and generated mesh covers, allowing them to fly freely. And as you can see, we can have walkthroughs as well. This is probably the thing I was most looking forward to in Planet Zoo 2. I was pretty certain we were going to get it because I could never think of any reason why Frontier wouldn't add flying birds into the first game. And after years of anticipation, I am extremely excited to start using them. On to the aquariums. In Planet Zoo 2, we'll be able to build spectacular freshwater or saltwater custom aquariums for all sorts of new fully aquatic animals. The animals that we'll get will be split into two types, shoaling fish, and then individual animals, which will function exactly the same as the terrestrial animals, like the hawksbill turtles and the sunfish that you can see here. And the keepers will actually dive in and swim around to do all their cleaning and feeding them, which is really cute. The new lighting system in the game makes these look absolutely amazing. It is fully dynamic lighting, same as in Planet Coaster 2 and Jurassic World Evolution 3, which also means we're finally going to be able to build proper night houses. Cannot wait to make a nocturnal house that's actually dark without having to change the time to 1 AM. That's going to be a lot of fun. You've seen, I think, 5 of the new aquatic animals here, but there's quite a few more coming, and I'll tell you about those in a minute as well. But this brings an entirely new dimension to Planet Zoo. I love a zoo with a good aquarium, and I'm hoping with these shoals of smaller fish that we've got, maybe we'll be able to make little kind of tanks that we can place around the areas of our zoo, like a lot of zoos do. Just little fish native to whatever themed area that part of the zoo is, just popping up here and there. That would be cool. Don't know if we're going to be able to do that or not at this stage, but I'll keep you updated. And obviously just building massive aquariums like this is going to be amazing. The next amazing new feature is the wildlife reserves. In Planet Zoo 2, conservation goes further than just your zoo or zoos. You can take on conservation projects where you need to meet specific requirements to be able to release your animals into fully customizable, expansive wildlife reserves across the globe. Once they're in there, you'll be able to manage them there as well. So as well as having zoos, you'll have your own nature reserves, which is just so cool. Looks like Planet Wild is finally coming to Planet Zoo properly. You'll be able to design and maintain these spaces and observe a network of entirely natural environments that you've created and modified where your animals can live. And you can even improve your zoos with research done in the wildlife reserves, which, like in real life, have a small group of staff to maintain them, but no barriers and things like that. It's going to be so cool to see this. I don't know much more about this than what I've told you here, but I'm really looking forward to seeing them. All right, let's take a look at every animal. We'll start with one of the animals that you can see in the trailer. The first animal that you see in the trailer, in fact, the Sumatran tiger. And oh my God, these look absolutely insane. The cubs are super cute, but the fur on the adult tiger is one of the best things I've ever seen in a video game. It is absolutely incredible. They are perhaps the most beautiful of all the tigers. It's going to be absolutely amazing to have them in the game, especially when they look like this. In Planet Zoo 2, the animals have visible behaviors and emotions, which is something we haven't seen. Cannot wait to see how that works out and how that affects the gameplay and the way that we look after the animals. And like I said earlier, all the animals in the game that were in Planet Zoo 1 have been completely redone, along with a whole load of new animals. Let's check out the next one. Our first aquatic is the sunfish, one of the largest bony fish on the planet, and certainly one of the derpiest. They are super cute. Really looking forward to getting one of those into a zoo. I'm not sure how common they are in aquariums, actually. I've certainly never seen one, although I don't go to aquariums that often, more of a zoo guy. And then next to them is the beautiful hawksbill turtle. I've seen sea turtles at Paradisa and I think Burgers Zoo in the Netherlands as well. They're so majestic, and being able to build a massive aquarium and just watch these guys regally cruising around it is going to be so cool. The detail on this model is absolutely amazing as well. I've got a screenshot of it here for you so you can see it in a bit more detail. And you may have noticed that both of these animals are surrounded by shoals of fish. I count 3 different species of fish here. Not an expert on fish, so I can't really identify them. That might be a yellow tang maybe in the background. And then we've got some kind of angelfish looking thing, and then some kind of thin ones. Like I said, not a fish guy. But there's 3 different species here, and we've got more species later on that I'll show you. And from what I understand, these fish operate in shoals rather than as individuals, which is good because trying to manage a shoal of 50 fish would not be fun. Not sure on the exact mechanics of that yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun finding out. Next up, we got 3 big hitters, all returning from Planet Zoo: the African elephants, the blue wildebeest, and the zebra. All redone. The elephants look even better than they do in Planet Zoo, and I was a big fan of them. Zebras definitely needed a bit of a polish, and they've certainly got that. Blue wildebeest, for me, probably one of the best looking animals in Planet Zoo, so great to see them back here as well. I imagine they'll be playing a big part in the wildlife reserves. Now another returning favourite, the western chimpanzee. Just look at that fur. These are going to be a lot of fun to build for, and I can't wait to tell you more about that soon. And here's the saltwater crocodile, probably one of the worst models in the base game of Planet Zoo, but wow, just look at these. So much detail, right up to the quality of the sort of later Planet Zoo crocodilians like the spectacled caiman that you would expect. And again, those underwater graphics just look incredible. I cannot wait to build things in this lighting engine. It is going to change everything. Let's check out a brand new animal. Our first ever flying bird. What a moment. The Toko toucan, one of the most distinctive birds on the planet, and always amazing to see in zoos. We've all wanted to build for animals like this for so long. It's going to be so exciting to be able to do so at last. And these are such a characterful and brilliant bird to begin that process. Then we've got an animal that people have been clamoring for in the Planet Zoo games pretty much since day one, the secretary bird. A staple of Zoo Tycoon, this has always been right near the top of the community's wish list, so it's going to be almost a relief to finally get it in the game. These are so cool when you see them in zoos. I've seen them in a few now, even in a walkthrough aviary once, and the way they strut about, stabbing at the floor, looking for snakes or whatever it is they're eating that day is brilliant to see. These zoos are going to feel so much more alive with flying birds in them. Now, there are 6 animals coming in the deluxe edition of Planet Zoo 2, including one which I almost wept with joy when I saw the golden lion tamarin. I have been banging on about adding tamarins and marmosets to Planet Zoo for about 5 years now, and it is finally happening. I cannot wait to get these little monkeys into my zoos. I'm already trying to decide which one of the many tamarin and marmoset habitats I've seen that I want to use as inspiration. And that's not all, as well as the returning axolotl, and I'm really interested to see if this is going to be in what we think of as an exhibit box, or if it's going to be in one of the aquariums. How is Planet Zoo 2 going to handle exhibits? I have absolutely no idea at this point. That's not something that Frontier have revealed yet. Fascinated to see how that's going to play out. There's also the golden eagle, one of the most iconic birds in the world. 2, what I'm assuming are going to be shoaling fish, the blue and gold fusilier and the long-fin batfish. And then the hammerhead shark. I think there are aquariums in the world that have held the hammerheads. It looks like a scalloped hammerhead from the screenshot, but I only know slightly more about sharks than I do fish, so I could be wrong. But sharks in zoos is one of my all-time favourite things to see. When I was a little kid, they used to have blacktip reef sharks in London Zoo, and building a shark tank is just instantly going to be one of the coolest things to do in Planet Zoo 2. And speaking of blacktip reef sharks, there are 3 animals coming to Planet Zoo 2 which aren't in the trailer, but they are in the accompanying press release that I have here. And black-tipped reef sharks are going to be coming to Planet Zoo 2, along with what I am pretty sure is a bald eagle and some sort of ray, possibly an eagle ray. We will await confirmation on that. I can't show you the images that I have at this point. All 3 of those species are going to be really cool, especially the sharks. The final animal that's been revealed, you can just see if you zoom in to the key art, and that is the giraffe. Not sure what species of giraffe, but to be honest, Planet Zoo 2 was never going to launch without giraffes. Great to see them there nonetheless. That is every animal that we know is coming to Planet Zoo 2. It's time to look at the details. Frontier kindly sent me the trailer, the press release, and a load of screenshots of Planet Zoo 2, so let's dive into those. First thing I want to talk about is the building. Loads of new pieces you can see in this trailer here. I really like these little mats on the floor. Great to see little pieces like that that are actually 3-dimensional rather than being decals. And I spotted here this path. It's hard to tell, but it looks like this path where it joins onto the other path is the same path. You can tell because it's got the same railings on it, but the color changes. So it looks like we're getting flexi-color paths, same as we have in Planet Coaster 2. And to be honest, I'd expect the full Planet Coaster 2 pathing experience to be ported across to Planet Zoo 2, so we're going to be able to have much more control over our pathing and make much more realistic zoos, hopefully with much less effort than it takes in Planet Zoo 1. There's also some new shops here, including Chief Leaf, which I love. Looks like we finally have an alternative to beef burgers to sell in our zoos, which even when Planet Zoo 1 came out was a bit old school. And I noticed some of the pre-order items that you can see here include animal-themed donation bins, which is a really nice touch. When you're in franchise mode, as we know so well on this channel, you need donation bins everywhere, and it gets really boring using the same ones all the time, so it's going to be great to have some alternatives. And there's a new educational item there as well, which is really cool. In terms of the building themes, Planet Zoo 2 is going to feature 4 new themes and 5 returning Planet Zoo themes. So there's going to be loads of choices for building. The zoo that Frontier have built here that you're seeing in the trailers is using one of the new themes, which I'm assuming is an Indonesian theme. Certainly some kind of Southeast Asian flavors going on there. And the foliage is looking absolutely great. Look at the little fungi on the floor next to that tree and even on the trunk of the tree. And when you see it move in the trailer, you can tell straight away this is the high quality Planet Zoo foliage, not the crazy cartoony foliage from Planet Coaster 2. Can't wait to see what new plants we can play around with. Maybe we can retire the buffalo grass and the ponytail palms, who knows. And something else we don't see in the trailer is the UI, so let's check that out. Here we go, I've got high hopes for this. The layout appears to be very similar to Planet Zoo, which I much prefer to the way it's laid out in Jurassic World Evolution 3, and they seem to have taken the flatter look from Planet Coaster 2, but then given it a major polish. And now it looks a lot more modern than it does in Planet Zoo, but will hopefully be a lot more polished than the Planet Coaster 2 UI. We've got trading, research, management, habitats, aquariums, how much fun is it to say that, exhibits, nature, facilities, scenery, and blueprints. I expect the blueprints to be much more closely integrated into the actual game like they are in JWE 3, rather than having to go out to get them all the time, seeing as there's a menu there for them. And we've got some of the old familiar icons down in the bottom right and the top left, and then some newer looking ones on the bottom left. I'm so excited to find out more about exactly how the barriers are going to work, how we're going to build these aquariums and these aviaries. I'll be back very soon with a video all about that. And I got another screenshot showing the animal UI as well, so let's take a look at that. Here we go. Not too dissimilar to Planet Zoo actually, just with a much smoother look. You've got lots of information easily accessible on this first page with the age, appeal, welfare, and then their social, environmental and enrichment details as well. You can see this croc is not very well enriched, and we got lots of new little options in that menu at the top. It's going to be fun finding out what they are. And that little release to the wild button at the bottom is going to be a whole new experience in Planet Zoo 2. In terms of the game modes, it's going to be exactly what you would expect. We're going to have 3 major modes: career, franchise, and sandbox. Really happy that franchise is coming back. Our favourite game mode on the channel, I think. In career mode, we'll be joining a new group, the Fauna Ecosystem Network, or FEN, and I'm reading this from the press release, in a fun-filled adventure around the world to support and maintain zoos and wildlife reserves. In fact, reading the press release, I'm seeing one small cloud on the horizon here in the description for the career mode. It says support your zookeepers and other park staff with dedicated timetables and editable working areas. If you've played Planet Coaster 2, you will know the timetables in that game, at least when I last played it, which was a very long time ago now, were an absolute nightmare. I really, really hope they are much simpler and feel less like work and more like play in this game. Franchise mode, as always, enables you to build a global wildlife network and trade animals with other players to bolster your credentials as an expert park builder. And we will be diving straight into franchise mode the second Planet Zoo 2 comes out, I can promise you. And finally, sandbox mode, we all know and love, doing whatever the hell we want in our zoos. The final thing to tell you today is when the game is coming out, the 13th of October this year. That means we are less than 5 months away from Planet Zoo 2. I'm so excited. All the pre-order and deluxe edition info is on screen right now. Thank you so much for watching as always. I'll be back on Saturday with a new episode of the Alpine Mountain Zoo. Jurassic Northwest will continue next week. As you can imagine, I've been pretty busy this week, so I'll see you on Saturday.